Okay, so good morning, class. Let's start our day with a prayer. Can you lead the prayer, Miss Canedo? Okay, so before you take your seat, please pick up some pieces of paper under your chair. Okay, so who is the class secretary? Okay, so please give me the list who is present today, right after our class. Okay, so now are you ready to learn, class? Are you excited to explore a new lesson this morning? Great! But before that, let me present to you our classroom rules so that we can maintain the orderliness of our discussion. So this is our classroom rules. First, listen when others are talking. Number 2, follow directions. Number 3, work quietly and do not disturb others. Number 4, show respect. So is our classroom rules clear, class? Okay, very good. Before we proceed to our new lesson, let us have a recap. What is our lesson yesterday, class? What is it all about? Okay, Miss Bungato, you are recognized. Very good. So now, who wants to play a game? Okay, so let's group you into 3 groups. The first group will be staying there, the second group will be staying there, and the third group will be staying there. We have here an incentive chart called Happy Birthday. If your group will give the correct answer, I will give a point. That is candle. That is a candle. Okay, so let's assume that the activity is done. Now, who can tell what is our lesson for today? Okay, Miss Sweetie, you are recognized. Okay, very good. So based on our activity, who can tell what is our topic for today? Okay, Miss Gako, you are recognized. Very good. So our topic for today is all about curricular reforms in teacher education. So we are going to talk about OBE. But before proceeding, let us know first our lesson objectives. So these are our lesson objectives. So first, define what is outcome-based education, OBE, as this applies to education. Describe how teaching and learning relate to OBE. Summarize the prospective teacher's roles and responsibilities in the implementation of the outcome-based education. Are these objectives clear, class? Very good. Okay, so now let us have another activity. It is called question and answer. I will give question and someone in the group will answer. I will recognize who raised the right hand first. Okay, so based on the video, who can give me an idea what is outcome-based education? Okay, Mr. Calvi, you are recognized. Very good. So as we talked about the curriculum in our previous discussion, outcome-based education always brought up. So why do we always hear a lot of educators talking about OBE? It's because outcome-based education or OBE become the fundamental philosophy in teacher education in the Philippines lately. All curricula will anchor in the concept of OBE in terms of course designing, instructional planning, teaching, and assessing student learning. This lesson will help you understand what is OBE is all about. According to Spady, outcome-based education is focusing and organizing everything in education system around all essentials for all students to do successfully at the end of their learning experiences. Okay, so these are the following questions that should be addressed by teacher in outcome-based education or in the learning process. So what do we want the students to learn? So as a teacher, we can ask ourselves kung saan jud ang gusto nato nga ma-learn sa atong students. That is very important. Number 2, why do we want students to learn these things? Okay, so we need to address kung saan jud ang atong gusto nga ma-learn sa atong student nato. Number 3, how can we best help students to learn these things? Unsa man ang atong ma-help sa atong students? Unsa man paunsa nato matabangan atong student para ma-learn ang mga things na gusto nato ito-learn sa ilaha. Number 4, how will you know when the students have learned? Okay, so dali na ang evaluation. Paunsa nato mahibal-an nga ang atong student is naka-learn na. Okay, so next. Spady premise that in outcome-based education, all students can learn and succeed but not all in the same time and or in the same way. So who can give their idea about this statement? Okay, so Miss Pansib, you are recognized. Okay, so very good. Okay, so the group 1 will have a candle. Okay, so all students can learn and succeed but not all in the same time. So every student is unique and have their time. So they can learn in different ways because they are unique and they have different learning styles. Number 2, successful learning promotes even more successful learning. So who can give the idea? Okay, so in group 2. Okay, very good, Miss Basay. Okay, so successful learning promotes even successful learning. So if you are successful in learning, you can be successful in the future or in your future learning too. Okay, because of that, you can have one candle. Okay, so next, school and teachers control the condition that will determine if the students are successful in learning. Okay, who can give their idea? Okay, Mr. Ata. Very good. Okay, so we all know that the school and the teachers have the big factor of the learning of the student. So they are the planner, the implementer of the curriculum. So in order to apply the 3 premises, 4 principles should be followed. Number 1 principle is clarity of focus. So teachers should know that the outcome of teaching is learning. Teachers and students should have a picture in mind of what knowledge, skills, and values should be achieved at the end of their learning process. Principle 2 is designing backwards. So this principle is related to the first. This means that planning, implementing, and assessing should be related to the learning outcome. So the third principle is high expectation. Establishing high expectation, challenging standard performance, will encourage students to learn better. Principle number 4, expanded opportunities. So, in OBE, all students are expected to excel. Hence, equal expanded opportunities should be provided. Teaching, learning in OBE. Teachers must prepare students adequately. So, teacher must prepare students in the learning process. Teacher must create a positive learning environment. So a positive learning environment gives a positive learning of the students. So, matter ang environment. Teacher must help the student to understand. Of course, as a teacher, you should help your student to understand what lessons you give so that they can learn. Teacher must use a variety of teaching methods. So there are many teaching methods. So teacher must use it in order to have, in order students to learn. Teacher must provide students with enough opportunities to use their knowledge and skills that they gain. So, as a teacher, we must provide students with enough opportunities inside or outside the classroom so that they can use their knowledge and skills so that ma-practice nila. Last, teacher must help students to bring each learning to a personal closure that will make them aware of what they learn. So, teacher must give the opportunities, mauna ni, kuan sila, related sila. Teacher must give the experiences of the student para ang ilang knowledge is ma-apply pa nila in different fields. Para, o unsa ilang ma-learn, o unsa ilang knowledge is makabalo sila o paunsa i-apply in real life situations. Okay, so now let us have an evaluation and able to know what you have learned in our discussion. So, what is OBE? Okay, from the group 1. Very good. How about what is the four essential principles of OBE? From the group 3. Okay, very good. Now, in your assignment, I have already attached in our Google Classroom. You can check it later. Okay, so this is the end of our discussion.